Welcome back to the Bible study for Constant Companion. Today we're going to review chapter 3, Jesus, the way back to the garden. Many believers get off track, only focusing on our need for service, the need for giving, the need for duty. We sadly forget that the most essential desire of God is for each of us to come to a place of companionship with Him. Giving and serving and spiritual disciplines are necessary and so very helpful for developing as a believer, but our primary focus should always be growing ever closer to the Lord. As believers, we are now the meeting place. We are the Holy of Holies, the place where the Spirit of God dwells. We were gifted with this privilege through the work of Jesus Christ, through His incarnation, crucifixion, resurrection, and ascension. The incarnation shows us, above all, that God desires to dwell with mankind. From the Lord dwelling with Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden to the end of this world as we know it, God's goal is singular. It is this: behold, the dwelling place of God is with man. He will dwell with them, and they will be His people, and God Himself will be with them as their God. Revelation 21:3. 3 times in this verse alone, the Lord from His throne declares that He will be with us. He will be Emmanuel, God with us forever. Remember that at its core, this is not a sin problem as much as it is an intimacy problem. The chasm created between us and God was the deepest and most abiding problem resulting from the fall of humanity. And it was this that Jesus came to remedy on the cross at His crucifixion. Romans 5:8-10 tells us that God shows His love for us in that while we were still sinners, Christ died for us. Since therefore we have now been justified by His blood, much more shall we be saved by Him from the wrath of God. For if while we were enemies, we were reconciled to God by the death of His Son, much more now that we are reconciled shall we be saved by His life. Paul makes it clear here that Jesus' death brought the needed reconciliation between us and God, re-enabling relationship with Him. Moreover, it goes on to say that His life through resurrection guarantees our future life with Him. Through the resurrection, we see that the sacrifice of Jesus was acceptable to God, even more than enough to pay for our sins, and we will live with Him forever. John 14:19. And through the ascension, we are given the breathtaking glimpse of Jesus' exaltation and our position at His side as believers in Him. God did all of this for us, not just so that we would one day live with Him in heaven, but that we could live with Him in the sanctuary of our hearts now. Enjoy diving into this chapter together.